Hey guys, Alyssa here, and today I shall be doing the genre book tag. This book tag was created by Harriet Rosie over on her channel. I will link the video down below. I saw Olive over at Book Olive do it, and it's been on my radar now for like, when did she post this video? Let's see. Yeah, she posted it at the beginning of March. First one is your favorite genres. Now, this is such an interesting video to me because it's changed drastically. If you were to look at like the beginning of my channel and what I used to read versus now, it's changed so much. I would say some of my favorite genres now are definitely thrillers. I read, I think, a decent amount of thrillers. I don't know if it counts as a genre. Some people consider it a genre, some people don't. I read a lot of graphic novels. Graphic novels take up probably 20 to 30% of my reading now. Whereas before, I don't know the exact percentage, but I just feel like I read a lot now. I also have been getting really into nonfiction more. It's not necessarily a genre I read the most out of, but it's really a genre I'm coming to really like. I have yet to find like a subgenre in nonfiction that I think I gravitate more towards. I do like some biographical things. I do like some true crime things and just other like true scandals that happened, I guess you could say. I think that's like it for like favorite genres. Like I read a lot. Like I like poetry. I also still like YA fantasy. I like sci-fi now. I'm trying to get more into that. Like I like a lot of things, but my favorites would probably be thrillers, nonfiction, and graphic novels. Question number 2 is your least favorite genres. My least favorite for sure, top tier, romance. You ain't gonna catch me reading a romance. Whether that be YA romance, regular fiction romance, I just don't touch romance. I don't even like it in like other ways of media. Like I don't really watch shows with romance. It's just not a thing I gravitate towards. I used to in my teens be very into romance, but I definitely wouldn't read like adult romance or anything like that. I'm kind of like keeping along with that theme. A lot of contemporary, I don't care for. Now you could say, technically there are a lot of thrillers that are contemporary. There are like technically contemporary stories that I've enjoyed, but overall, like I don't enjoy romance. I don't enjoy a lot of real life circumstances. I don't like slice of life stories. They're not my thing. I'm also not big on historical fiction. That's just, I have to have something else mixed in with historical fiction. And a lot of times, like if it's like mystery, like detective, thrillery, then that's fine for historical. But I don't just like historical fiction of like, we're in the 1800s and things are going on that happened in the 1800s. And it's just like a contemporary story that could have taken place in modern times in like the 1800s. Not my thing. Question number 3 is a genre you want to try. Oh, that's interesting. One, I think I've tried a lot of genres, but one I want to get more into is definitely like adult sci-fi. It's a very scary genre to me because it ranges so much. You have like the old classic like things that have been around for 20-30 years, sci-fi fantasy stuff, and then you have like the newer edge of sci-fi fantasy stuff, and it's definitely a genre I'm trying to get more into. I'm still trying to explore more nonfiction. It can be kind of difficult because nonfiction is so broad and my taste varies in everything I do. Like I never am consistent across the board about anything. Also, if you notice if my neck is red, I have some weird reaction to the medication that I've been using for acne and it's making breakout worse and I don't know why, and I hate my life, in case you were wondering. Question number 4 is a genre you don't want to try. I don't know if there's a genre I haven't tried yet, technically. I haven't technically, I think, read any horror, or if it has been horror, it hasn't been like specific horror, but horror is not something I don't want to try. I don't want to try any parts of horror. Like it's not my thing. Maybe certain very specific storylines I would be into, but just overall horror doesn't appeal to me in any way. Question number 5 is a genre you're not sure about. And this is kind of an interesting question because it's been something I've been thinking about so much. It used to be like YA fantasy used to be my jam. YA and middle grade fantasy used to be my jam. And I'm just not sure about it anymore. I feel like a lot of the stories that are coming out that are fantasy don't appeal to me. And I don't know why. And I know it's probably because like YA literature in general just goes through stages. It goes through phases and fads. And right now, for some reason, none of the fad that's going on in YA fantasy doesn't appeal to me. So yeah, it's a genre that I used to feel like I was constantly picking up books for, and now I'm just kind of like paused, pumped the brakes, and rethought if I'm really as into it as I used to be, or as I thought I was. Question number 6 is a genre blend you love. And I have to say, I love the blend of a sci-fi and fantasy series. I love elements like that. I think they are so fun and so cool. I love that middle ground that it gets between like, is it more sci-fi? Is it more fantasy? Is it a perfect combination of the both? I love that like border that we edge on that. Definitely something I love. But like at the same time, that's why it's so confusing when people say, oh, sci-fi fantasy, like adult sci-fi fantasy is like combined into one, and I don't understand because they're such different things. They can blend, and a lot of times they do, but like they can be such different things. You can have an adult fantasy series that has nothing to do with sci-fi, or a sci-fi series that has nothing to do with fantasy. Like, why are they like often molded together? I don't get it. Also, I love, again, if it's a genre, I love a sci-fi graphic novel. Does things for me. Sci-fi graphic novels, probably my favorite genre of graphic novels. They tend to be so visually pleasing. The plots tend to be so cool, and like combined with the visual elements of like seeing the sci-fi things taking place. Chef's kiss. Last and final question is a genre defying book. And I'm gonna pick a couple books, and for that I'm gonna pick If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio and My Sister the Serial Killer. Mostly because I feel like these books fall into no man's land. Do I consider them thrillers? No. Do most like traditional ways as to which you would find these books consider these books thrillers? Yes. But I wouldn't consider them on the same playing field as, say, a Ruth Ware book. A Ruth Ware book is a classic thriller. My Lovely Wife, The Silent Patient are classic thrillers. But these books have murder and mystery into them, but have a lot of other elements I feel like that come into play, and a lot of personal relationship dynamics that I really like, that like almost feels like a contemporary, because like you get that very like intense look at the inner dynamics and like personal dynamics of people's relationships, but like at the same time get this like murder mystery element of it. Those books are definitely books I feel like don't fall under any category whatsoever. That was the genre book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know some of your answers to these questions down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I shall see you in the next one. Bye.